Lose yourself to Schubes.
YouTube, what's going on? As many of you know, I have not read the Harry Potter books yet, but I'm fixing it in my podcast, Potterless. Now, normally, you would call me a Muggle for this, unless you lived in J.K. Rowling's America in the 1920s, because then you would call me a nomad. This reference is from Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the movie that just came out, and me, as a Muggle/nomad who's only read 3.5 of the books, I'm gonna give a review of just my thoughts of the movie, because I feel like they're pretty neutral. Like, I'll be honest, I did think that the movie was fantastic. But it did have its fair share of problems, so let's go into it. Right off the bat, Newt Scamander, amazing name, fantastic. The movie's way too obvious about who is the bad guy because they give all of the evil characters evil haircuts. Colin Farrell's got this like slick back, all black, shaved on the side updo, which looks awesome, but totally evil. And then Credence, the kid who turns out to be the Obscurus, has the worst bowl cut in history. It looks like the barber was like, sorry Credence, I don't have any scissors. Is it alright if I just use this box cutter and just like... The biggest problem with the film, though, is that it's called Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, but it's not about the Fantastic Beasts at all, or where to find them. The whole plot of the movie has nothing to do with the beasts. They're just there. Like, Newt is in America because of them, and they get into hijinks because he has to get them back. But in terms of the whole plot, it's just figuring out which kid is the explosion thing, and then they find Wizard Hitler, and they're like, oh, now we gotta stop Wizard Hitler, Grindelin, or whatever his name is. Grindelwald, ugh. My girlfriend made the best point about this, in that you have these two really intricate plots of, like, Newt and all the beasts, and him trying to save them and defend them, and then you have the Obscurus thing, and it's like, who did it and all that, and you're like, okay, cool, how are you gonna mix these two plot lines? And instead, it's just like, forget the beasts! Let's just talk about the evil kids and use the beasts as props to defeat Colin Farrell. I also have a problem with Queenie, the girl's sister who can read minds and stuff, because in the beginning of the movie, she tells Scamander, oh, don't worry, I have a hard time reading the minds of British wizards. I've just never had a really good read on them. And then later in the movie, she's asking him about his past love affair thing, and she's reading his mind about it, and then he's like, could you please not read my mind? And she's like, oh, sorry, my bad. And then 5 seconds later, reads his mind again. It's like, what? Wait. First off, you said that you can't do it. Then you did it. He asked you not to, and then you did it again and more thorough? Like, ugh. However, when Queenie baked stuff in air, that was the coolest thing ever, and it's made all of my cooking endeavors look horrible in comparison. I also have a problem with media outlets, because on my Facebook feed, I saw some article that was like, guess what? Johnny Depp is in the new Harry Potter movie, and then he's not in the movie at all until the very end, and what would have been a super dope plot twist is if I knew nothing, and then at the very end, it's like, holy shit, Johnny Depp is Wizard Hitler? Like, that would have been way better if I didn't have in the back of my mind the whole time in the movie, I wonder when Johnny Depp is gonna show up, and it's just, like, the whole point of not putting Johnny Depp on any billboards or trailers or anything is so that you are surprised when it happens. And then this media outlet decides to make it a headline, like, you're ruining the whole reason that they didn't tell you Johnny Depp was in the movie and is going to be a major character for the remaining 4 in the series. Like, there's a reason why they did that, and you're ruining it for clickbait? Like, fuck you, just post a Donald Trump article about one of his tweets if you want clickbait. Like, come on, don't ruin the Harry Potter movie. I think the character of Kowalski is great. I like that they decided to make a Muggle a major character. But I wish they wouldn't have wiped his memory in the end, because I'm afraid he's not going to be in any more of the movies. I know that in America, wizards and muggles are, like, not allowed to get married, and they're not allowed to be friends and know that they exist and all this other stuff. But in Britain, that's, like, totally fine. So what if Newt Scamander was just like, yo, dude, we'll not wipe your memory, you just gotta, like, keep it on the down low. Which Kowalski totally would have done, because he would have wanted to pursue a romantic relationship with Queenie, and the only way in which he could have done that is if he kept it on the down low. You can trust this dude. You could trust him for the whole movie to help you out and be your sidekick and not tell anyone. But once the ministry's like, you gotta wipe his memory, I'll leave you to do it. Like, they should just be like, no, dude, we're, like, they don't know that they think we're wiping your memory, but we're just not going to. Just, like, don't tell anyone. The whole reason that Scamander is in America is to bring back this big old bird to the distant, amazing land of Arizona, home of Phoenix, City of Lights. I feel like if you're gonna pick a non-major state like California, you gotta go full lame. Go all the way lame and be like, oh, Mr. Scamander, where are you going? I'm going to South Dakota. Or I'm going to New Hampshire. Or I'm going to Idaho. I don't know. I just audibly laughed out loud in the theater when he's like, gotta get you home to Arizona. It's like, okay. Like, what even was in Arizona in the 1920s? Like, probably nothing. I know I've been making fun of a lot of stuff, but honestly, I thought the movie was really good. I thought it was a very solid setup movie. Like, it wasn't the greatest thing, but I do have a lot of hope for the future movies because they're all going to be about defeating Grindelwald, which is going to be cool because he's Wizard Hitler, and he's Johnny Depp, and his eyes are 2 different colors, and he's got bleach blonde hair. Like, I think it's going to be super cool. I'm very excited. This movie was a solid setup and a good beginning to the series. I just wish the Fantastic Beasts actually mattered. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, click like. If it was one of your favorites, click favorite. That's what those buttons are there for. If you want to see me ramble about Harry Potter things such as this, I have a podcast called Potterless where I read through the series and talk about it with my friends who are Harry Potter fanatics, and it's really good because I know nothing and they know everything, and it makes a really good discussion. I've had a lot of my YouTube friends on it thus far, and it's going to be a really good time. So just search on iTunes or Soundcloud for Potterless. If not, no worries. But if that's something that's interesting to you, I would hope that you would go check it out. But anyway, guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you sometime in the very near future.
Lose yourself to Schubes.